I'm Nadasen, and we are at the PayU offices in Cape Town. The vision at PayU is to create a world without financial borders. And this means giving people access to financial services and the ability to make payments in the digital world. PayU payments touch about 2.3 billion people. I was born in Durban. I then left to Grahamstown, where I did my first combined degree in computer science and information systems. So I was quite lucky because my dad got me a computer when I was a teenager. And so I was a bit more exposed to it, I think, than others would be. So I started coding from quite a young age. I think I was about 13 or 14 years old. It wasn't really the intention to go into computer science because my dad wanted me to go into the medical field. I have been in the tech field for quite a long time now. I think it's like 18 years. I've had a number of roles in the tech field. Pretty much, I think, almost every role. I started off as a Java developer, and I did that for a short period of time before I moved into business and systems analysis. I loved the idea of creativity, and I think that is something that computer science afforded me. And so what I really enjoy the most is certainly analysis and product design. And I love the idea of creating things, forming something, something that didn't exist before. The most exciting part in my whole career is the ability to affect lives in a positive way. It's been ever changing. I've been able to be creative. I've been stretched and I've grown just tremendously. I've learned so much about so many different, fields. There's just no limits to it. There are certainly moments in my life where I would have doubted myself. I think it is important to know that everybody goes through that. I think I know myself quite well, but it's been a journey to get to that point. So it wasn't always easy initially being the only female or only person of color when I started off in my career so many years ago. But I knew my craft really well, and I think that's something that really, really helped me, and I was able to form relationships with some really good people, along the way. I think that also helped. In the tech industry, it's the stats speak for themselves. There's really a very small amount of women. Certainly when I was much younger, I became very aware that I was the only female, and generally with about 15 men. And so I think I really wanted to prove myself, and I didn't really want to create any distraction. And so I became very withdrawn. I wouldn't really engage I would keep my distance essentially. And I was very conservative because I just really wanted to be taken very seriously. And I think later on in life that affected my personality in a very negative way, especially when I went to the UK, because I was perceived as quite cold. It's challenging as a woman because other people have expectations of you that you would be nurturing and caring, which I certainly wasn't. You're not perceived very, very well, very friendly, really. So I think we have to be very conscious of these stereotypes that are out there. There's a lot of things and responsibilities that come with making that, I think, change in your life and having a baby. And I don't think that we could or should ignore that, because life does change. You might want to breastfeed. You've got to think about, well, how can I do both? So I would say there's two parts to this. The one is from a personal perspective, being quite sure that you are able to and ready to take the next step. And then also to look at, what is practical for you, because not everything will be practical. In general, there's a lot of stress that is put on women on what we should and shouldn't be and what we should and shouldn't do, and we're bad mothers and good mothers, and I think you need to ignore all of that and to really think about what is best for me. When I left South Africa and I worked in the UK, I was surrounded by more women and also diversity and inclusion. So I was the champion for diversity and inclusion for BP. And I think that kind of exposure also broadened my thinking in terms of the importance of diversity and the role women play and seeing more women, it encouraged me a lot more. And so I was able to come out of my shell. There's this saying that you can't be what you can't see. And if there's more women out there, it just becomes something that is more possible. It's more possible to be a leader, to be a CEO, to be a developer. My advice to women that are considering going into tech is go for it. It's the most rewarding, incredible field to go into. It's always changing. There shouldn't be anything that should be holding you back from getting into the tech field.